Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to learn a English poem of grade 10 from NCERT book. The name of the poem is The Ball Poem, written by John Berryman. So let us see about the poet John Berryman. John Berryman was an American poet and scholar. He is best known for the Dream Songs, which was a sequence of 385 poems. He won Pulitzer Prize for the Dream Songs. He also won National Book Award. So this is about the poet. Now let's see about the poem, introduction of the poem. So here the poet John Berryman, through his poem, The Ball Poem, has described the reality of life which everyone has to face one day. He has touched the topic of how to stand up against the miseries and sorrows of life. So, dear students, here John Berryman, through this message, he's giving a very informative and important message that he's describing how the reality of life has to be faced by everyone one or the other day. Here he is talking about the miseries and the sorrows that comes in the life of every person at one or the other point, and how he has to stand up against it, fight and go ahead in his life. So here he is taking an example of a boy and who's losing his important and a very a thing which is attached to him. So let us see how is the poet trying to explain us this deep meaning of the life through this poem, the Ball Poem. So let's see the stanza wise. First stanza. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What, what is he to do? I saw it go merrily bouncing down the street and then merrily over. There it is in the water. Here the poet says that he has seen a boy who has lost his ball. Now here the boy's precious thing was ball, because in the childhood days when you are young, it's of course your toys which is very precious. So this boy whose precious toy was a ball, and he has lost it. What is he going to do now? The poet is thinking, he's just asking himself, because he saw that his precious thing, his precious ball with which he was playing, is merrily bouncing, and it went through the street, and it merrily went and fall into the water. Now it's gone forever, and it's out of the reach of the boy. So what is this boy going to do now? He's having this misery in his life now of losing his precious thing, and that precious thing is his ball. So this is how the first stanza goes on, the misery which is coming in the life of a boy now. Let's see in the second stanza. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. I would not intrude on him a dime. Another ball is worthless. Now he senses first responsibility. So the poet here says that there's no use of saying him that I'll get another ball, or there's another ball which you'll get and you can play with it, because he's already shaking with the grief and the sorrow. The whole body is in the sorrow. You can see in the boy's through the boy's appearance and the way he is standing, trembling and staring at the ball right at the harbor, where all his young days and the memories which he had attached with that ball has been gone forever now. So the poet says, even if I intrude, even if I invade and interfere and say him, just a dime and you'll get another ball. Here, dime is 10 cents. It's US currency. That if you just spend a dime, you will get another ball. But it will be worthless, because that new ball cannot replace the old one which he has lost, because he is having there's so many memories, the sweet memories, the happy memories which is attached with that ball. So it's useless now, even if he gets a new ball. So now poet is saying he senses his first responsibility, As a boy, he is experiencing his first misery of life, and he'll also learn how to stand up against it. So it is his first responsibility as a child, which he is sensing now with the loss of the ball. Let's see the next stanza. In a world of possessions, people will take balls. Balls will be lost, always, little boy, and no one buys a ball back. Money is external. His learning, well behind his desperate eyes, the epistemology of laws, how to stand up, knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days, how to stand up. So here the poet says, this is the world full of possession. All the people wants to own and possess many things. They are just running behind the wealth and possessing and the property, the wealth, many things. People will take in this competitive world, in the world, in the competition of possessing each and everything. People will take and snatch things from you. Here he has given the example of balls because he is giving an example of a ball and which was played by a young boy. So he says people will snatch the ball, they will take it, you will be losing your balls, your possession, your wealth, you will be losing it. It will be lost, little boy, and no one buys the ball back. Nobody is going to give you the lost thing again. And money is external. You cannot buy that memories and the happiness and the sweet attachment which you have with that thing which you have already lost. So don't run behind the money and possessing everything, because it's just an external thing. It cannot give you internal happiness, the memories, the days, the sweet days, the happy moments which you have been passed through so many days, which you have attached in your mind and heart, cannot be buy or purchased by the money. Then he also says, he's learning well behind his desperate highs. The boy is learning here behind his desperate and hopeless highs, because he has lost something and is hopeless now. He cannot get that back again. But the epistemology of laws, he's learning the knowledge of laws. Epistemology means knowledge. He's learning the knowledge of laws and how to stand up against it, and he's learning how to overcome with it, and that every man must one day know. He's learning something which every man has to learn one day. So he's learning now at his very young age by losing his ball, and how to overcome from it, because it is there's no hope of getting the same ball again. And most know many days how to stand up, and many of them may have this misery for many days, but they know how to stand up. They learn how to stand up and fight against it, because you cannot end your life if you lose something, because you have to stand up and fight against it, and you have to go ahead. So this is how the poet trying to give a deep information about the life with the help of a boy and his ball which is lost. So there are many miseries which will be coming in our life, and we have to stand up and fight against it and go ahead. So this is what about the poem, students. I hope you understood it, the explanation part. And let's move towards literary devices now. We have alliteration used in this poem. We can see the sound B at the start of two consecutive words. You can see buys a ball back. You can see the sound of B being repeated at the start of the words. So it's alliteration. Next is assonance. Use of vowel sound E can be seen in the same line in almost every word. So this becomes assonance, the repetition of the vowel sound, same vowel sound in every word in a line. We also have repetition. We see the word ball, which is repeated in the stanzas throughout the poem, so it becomes repetition. Next, rhyme scheme. There is no such rhyme scheme followed in the poem, so we don't have any rhyme scheme here. So students, this was about the explanation and the literary devices. I hope it was informative for you all, and thank you for watching my video. Do like, share and subscribe my channel. Do comment for the topic you would like to see in my upcoming videos. Thank you.